Hello, every pony. I'm MasterCode, your ace analyst, and today we once again take a trip to the past to Season 1 with Applebuck Season, the first Applejack-centric episode in the series. The story? It's Applebuck Season.
And one pony plus hundreds of apple trees just doesn't add up to...
Don't you use your fancy mathematics to muddy the issue.
Though we're only on the 4th episode, we've seen how resolute Applejack can be in any situation standing by her friends, no matter what. Though this is the first time we've seen the farmer mare in such a vulnerable state, taking her stubborn, prideful nature to new limits and how it nearly destroys her, along with Ponyville and its townsfolk.
Not big goods, big bads.
Now, AJ, along with the rest of the main 6, did just save the world from Nightmare Moon, which did earn them a lot of recognition, though what makes the conflict work so well is, once again, the day is saved, but only by AJ thwarting a stampede from destroying Ponyville, and thus she's praised by every pony and is given a trophy in her honor, and thus this is where her stubbornness to accomplish tasks kicks into high gear. After receiving all this praise and setting the bar in helping ponies, she's kind of trapped now, not wanting to fail her pride in helping ponies now that she's set such a standard for herself. Thus, we come to the meat of the show, where AJ makes commitments to help all of her friends with various tasks, but is far too taxed from her own responsibilities of applebucking, and her exhaustion causes her to mess up everything. It's a very relatable conflict where, at some point, we've had multiple tasks or projects to complete, and while we'd like to finish them solo and earn that sense of pride, yet if you're too stressed to do something right, then all your endeavors will suffer. When you have nothing left to give, it's okay to ask for help and let go of your pride, which is overall a great moral that's executed quite well. Another one of my favorite aspects about the episode is the humor, because from a comedic standpoint, it's hilarious.
I sure do look funny. Thanks.
Like early with the scene of the stampede with every pony running around all scared and being overly dramatic, it's great.
Every pony calm down. There is no need to panic.
Most of the jokes are slapstick, but again, there's enough variety that keeps the humor fresh, especially as AJ gets more exhausted. My favorite being AJ launching Rainbow with a catapult, or the various auditory and visual problems she encounters from the exhaustion.
Can be Squawk? I don't think so. Could you step aside, Twilight?
I just did.
Apples fall off.
AJ, I think you're beating a dead tree.
The rest of the main 6 are mostly minor roles, though Twilight is the voice of reason here, and her characterization was, again, well done, coming off as a firm yet empathetic friend. Even though Twilight is friends with all these eccentric ponies in town, she still respects their various quirks, and is no different here. She admires AJ's reliability and helpfulness, but even she knows that AJ pushing her limits is wrong, and her intervening and wanting to assist feels realistic, especially as the town suffers the baked bads. Thus, Twilight calling AJ out in her own territory doesn't come off as insulting or intrusive, as many ponies have knowingly suffered from her fatigue, and Twilight pushing her agenda in wanting to help comes off as just a friend who wants to help another with some necessary intervention. Overall, the plot progression flows organically from AJ's rise to the top, her downfall, and inevitable recovery. The animation was still in its early days, but the backgrounds had a decent amount of detail to them, like the wide shots of Sweet Apple Acres, utilizing parallax with the various layers, and the animators experimenting with unique and fun facial expressions, especially with AJ making conversations between her and any pony else that much more visually hilarious. In the end, Applebuck Season was a great episode. The moral and conflict were relatable, the comedy was great, the animation was good, and we got some great character development for Applejack that we will see further expanded upon in the last roundup. Well, that's it for today, guys. Until next time, MC